Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Power Chat TV. I'm your host, Ronnie Music, and today we are talking to MC Moseh. MC Moseh is a musician based here in the UK from Uganda, and this is our second interview with our MC Moseh. We had him about just over a year ago, and obviously things have moved on and things have happened, and he's talking to us today, and he's going to give us an insight of what he's been up to, what he's doing, and the music industry, here in the for you artists based here, and how things are going. And also going to talk about he's also going to talk to us regarding his own personal life, and let's hope that we can enjoy, like it, and take it on board. MC Moseh has got a few songs out at the moment. We're gonna here's one of them.
It's never too late. I know you know we know. Scambio is you and me. Daktari, I'm dying. Come on, spend the night with me. I need a sexual healing. Come closer. Don't listen, emergency.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've got the man himself here, Mama's boy, MC Moseh. He's going to be talking to us again, as I mentioned, what is happening here in the music the music business here in the UK, in Uganda, how the comparison of what's happening, what's going on, and all the stuff that's going on within the community. MC Moseh, welcome to Power Chat.
Yeah, nice to be here again. Hello everyone, it's MC Moseh as usual, and it's my second time in Power Chat. Power Chat,
Yeah.
Power Chat Studios. It's one of
No. You have Power Chat, you've got Power Studios, but we are Power Chat TV,
Yeah.
not Power Studios.
Yeah, but I mean it's in the studios of Power Chat TV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm happy to be here, and thank you so much for the love and support you're giving all the community projects. It's very nice, and it's good to see that the community is prospering now, and there's the unity is we're getting there in terms of unity for the community. Yeah.
Okay, since we spoke to you about a year ago, maybe just over a year ago, things were happening in your life as Mama's boy. We've moved on. Now, what's been happening first of all in your life in the last 12 months, 13, 14 months? First of all, musically. Second of all, I won't say personal, but anything personal you'd like to tell us.
I don't know what's personal, because everything about Mama's Boy is broadcasted on Facebook and Instagram. I'm a person who I love my Ugandan community, especially in UK, because I've spent years growing up in Ugandan community. I've developed myself in terms of music career and relationships. I've built very nice relationships in Ugandan community, so it means a lot to me. And some people they don't understand why I'm so attached to Ugandan community. Some people don't understand why I've never performed anywhere else outside UK. I've heard a lot of things being said, but at the end of the day, I have a goal as a person, and I'm still developing myself. I'm working on my launch, which is coming next year, definitely, inshallah. And in terms of personal, like you said, it's alhamdulillah, everything is okay. I'm a dad. The last time we spoke, I was waiting for my daughter. She's here now, and I'm working on a lot of new projects, music. I'm sticking to my style of music. You know how it is, and people who support my music, And I'm planning to go to Uganda after my launch here. And before I go to Uganda, I think I'll go to Sweden and Holland. And that will depend on my music. If I'm doing well, then me and my management will think of performing in other places. But in the moment now, we are working. We are in the process of making sure that the launch is really good. Because for me, I'm looking at it as someone who's been studying for all these years, and this is my graduation. So yeah, all my brothers will be there to support me, all the UK-based artists, Paddy D, VJ, OJ, Lillian, Sister Slave. Everyone is going to be there. So it is something that I'm passionately like connected to. So I'm hoping and
Obviously, people out there want to know MC Moseh latest things like music. Have you released any music? I just want to let our viewers know that this guy here, he's one of the few artists here in the UK from Uganda that can actually pull a crowd. A crowd will come out to see him live, and I've been to one of his performances, and he's performed just by himself, and he's pulled it off. One of the few talented singers we have here, and all the other guys we support them. However, this guy's one of the few talented singers. What do you have as? Because we want to know a bit more about MC Moseh. Yeah. One of the things people are always asking for things like the music is the music moving on, is it moving on from our say, because people say, I've met a few artists who come and say, oh no, when we do our songs we want to send them to Uganda to get mastered. We're like, well, why you send them to Uganda, why can't you master them here? They're like, no, you can only do it in Uganda. So we're like, why not here? Yeah, so are the musicians still thinking it's better to do your stuff back home than doing it here, or do you guys have to stick it out and keep fighting for your recognition here?
Before, I've also done that. I've worked with a lot of Ugandan producers, like top producers and young producers. I'm an artist, I like art, so I like to work with different producers. Every producer's got a different touch of what other producers don't have. And as for the artist, if you want your album, because the problem with the musicians or the people who listen to our music, everyone is going to tell you something different, not in a bad way, but in a way of advising you what to do and what's in the market. But what I've discovered, when you're doing a music career, you need to forget competition, you need to forget what other people are doing, and concentrate on your comfort zone and master what you feel like that's you. Because what people say nowadays,
but I'm gonna stop there, because you're saying you need to concentrate and forget about what others doing, but then what you're doing is for people to like.
Yeah.
So you also have to consider what others are saying, because you want them to like your music. Yeah. So even that is also important.
But if you want people to like your work, you need to master your game. You need to look at what you're doing. Do I do it perfectly? Because what happens now is people try to do different things and there's no time. Just because Eddie Kenzo made City Alos and it worked out, then you see everyone is trying to do the same style of Eddie Kenzo. You understand? But Eddie Kenzo, he's a different artist. When you listen to Eddie Kenzo's vocal ability and the style of his singing, he's like a pop musician. And some people don't have that kind of touch. However much you try to put that heavy production on their singing, you might not get that Eddie Kenzo factor. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's not a bad way that people will tell you to do what is on the market, but can you do it perfectly? I keep saying, even on my social media, that there's no such a thing perfect. It's just a word. But at the end of the day, when you are trying to do something, you have to be a perfectionist in especially things that you're passionate about. You have to make sure, this is my way of dancing, this is my way of singing, or this is the way I make my videos, and I'm going to make it perfect in my own way, my way. So that way, any other person out there will say, oh, I like MC Moseh's stuff. It's different, it's unique. So that's what separates you from other people. And the easiest way or the quickest way to get noticed is being different. So I've learned this through process. uh, I don't have pressure, to be honest with you. I don't put pressure on myself because I've changed from that person who was pursuing to get there quick to a person who's careful of what I'm doing. Is if I'm producing a song, I want to make sure, is it good? Is the sound good? Are the instruments sounding, I mean, the instruments, are they sounding really like the way I would want to? Because before we used to make a song and 2 days it's out. You've not even given yourself a chance to listen to that song yourself, to listen and make sure that this is it. So but now, as you can see, I take my time to do things. And I would give the same advice to people, especially upcoming musicians, to stop putting pressure on yourself.
The few things we have come across as, someone like me who goes out, who's trying to help the community, and someone like yourself who's trying to go out and help the community, is are you getting support from your community? First of all, yeah, we keep saying community. There's so many Ugandans and Africans all over the place,
Yeah,
and where would you? I've met a few Ugandans who don't know about this event today, for instance,
definitely.
and there are those who know, those who don't know. However, are you getting the support that you need? What I mean, I'm talking about from the DJs, from the promoters, from the managers, from the people making your videos. What? So, or are you the one funding every little thing of your music? Are you funding the whole lot from the start from the beginning to the end?
Mean like financial support?
Financial, yeah.
It's not easy to get financial support when it comes to music career development. You will have to be lucky. Even people who are born in this country, and they find same difficulties as we have, but the only difference they have is that they are looking at the bigger picture of audience. And the problem we have as African musicians, we only focus to African community. So when we are making our music, we don't really consider other nations, and that is our problem that we need to work on. In terms of support, general support, yes, we get a lot of support. I think I get massive support from my community. They've supported me from day one. Yeah, like as you mentioned before, that I've done shows, and they turn up in big numbers, and I'm really grateful and I'm humbled for that. So that's why I want to keep that momentum through keeping my humbleness and discipline to my game and my social networking. So there's not much magic in that. It's knowing what you want and being careful of what you're doing, because I've grown up so much that sometimes I look back at how we used to see things, and we wasted a lot of money and time on trying to just be a superstar in 1 week. But when you sit down with people who have maintained their status in their music career, if they tell you their story, it's a long story, So now I'm MC Moseh, a person who sings for his fans. I don't sing for everyone. Someone might not understand this, because before I used to get a bit disappointed when someone made a critic here about my music. I'll be like, oh, they don't know how much I have to go through to put this song out there, and then I end up putting it on Facebook and YouTube, and they watch it. It's not like I'm getting money out of it, but at the end of the day, it's not their problem. You get what I'm saying? They got the right to criticize what you're doing. So I started listening to the criticism more than the praises and stuff. So I learned a lot of stuff from that. So now I sing for Mama's Boys fans. If someone happens to listen to my music and then they like it, they join the team. So that way I have the comfort of knowing what I'm doing and who I'm singing for. So even if someone comes out and makes a critic on Facebook or social media about my music, it is not a big deal. The best I can do out of that is to go there and get the positive out of it, So in terms of support, yes, alhamdulillah, I get a lot of support, and that's why I have the confidence to say I think I'm ready now to do my launch in UK. I just want to open up, inshallah. I want to open up a new chapter in like in African music in UK, because people keep saying if you want to make money you need to go to Uganda, but I speak to a lot of musicians in Uganda who have been there for so long and they don't have money. Yeah, you understand, they have good songs, they have the exposure, but they don't have money. So and then you still have to learn from their experience, why is it happening like this, because they're on the ground, they have the biggest fan base. The Kampala itself has about 7 million people, I think, roughly about 7 million people. So out of 7 million people, even if you have 1 million fans, that can make you rich. That's enough to make you rich. So I go through all this, and then I go back on to my place, and I start thinking about what do I have to do, because I love music, and what's the best can I do with my music? That you know what I'm trying to say, because everyone is out there trying their best doing music, but each one of us has a different motive.
Do you mean motive or do you mean style?
No, motive apart from style. Yes, the aspiration is getting rich and be successful, and but for me, like I told you before, it's not about just buying nice cars and nice houses. And I told you when you asked me last time in the interview, when you asked me about my role models in music, I told you Fide, because I don't think if Fide Bongole left a lot of money to his family, but his name, even up to now, his name saved a lot of lives in Uganda. So I don't even know why the media is being so selfish to this guy, you know, because he changed the mentality of Ugandans, how they used to think about HIV. His music up to now, is the only music that you will listen to and ask someone else, when was this music done? Do you understand? So I want to be that type of a person. That's why you see I do a lot of work in the community. Some people think I even get paid for this work.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. Back to your music again. There's a person who mentioned that the Ugandan artists in the UK here are quite privileged because, you know, you've got unlimited access to the internet, for instance. You've got things like iTunes, and so you can literally publish your own music straight away. But why aren't they doing it? You know, why aren't they publishing their music?
That goes back to the targets we have. The problem, like I told you in the beginning, the problem we have is our audience target.
Do you mean? All right, that's very good. Do you mean that now the target should change? So rather than is it because the Ugandan community here is, you know, compared to say the Nigerian or even the Kenyan community, is that, you know, they're a lot bigger. So now you have to say, all right, I'm gonna start making music in Swahili, for instance, or I'm gonna collaborate with some Nigerians. Or
it has to have a touch.
Yeah, but what I mean is that trying to get it away from this circle and put it into another circle.
Trying to get it from this circle to another circle, yes, but you still have to respect the ground that is holding you. You get the point. Some people, they get carried away. I have some friends who have been lucky to achieve a goal of success in music, and I've seen the problems they make when their music cross over from Uganda to other nations. They change their attitude, they change how they talk about Ugandans. They say Uganda omanyi basiru nnyo Uganda bichi. So for me, these are things I don't buy, because at the end of the day, it's Ugandans who lifted you up there for other people to see you. So when you start underestimating Ugandan power, if they drop you, you understand? So it's a good thing. This is why I say to you that when you get into music and you turn it from passion to business, then you need to know the basics of running it as a business. You understand? So you need to look at yourself. Who am I doing this music? Why am I doing this style of music? Like I told you now, before I was doing music for everyone, but I know there's a lot of people who don't like the style of music I do. Just like the people who listen to my music, they complain about that different other styles of music. So you need to know what you're doing and who you're doing it for. Don't worry about million people. As long as you have a fan base, that fan base can grow slowly by slowly. You know, let me give you an example. I don't know how much time we have. You see people like Lionel Richie. How long has he been in the game?
Long time.
And the likes of Shabaranks and these people, they were there for a period of time. And if you tell a Ugandan I'm bringing Shabaranks, they will say, I'm not sure, man. But say to them I'm bringing Lionel Richie or Elton John. It's because these people, they know their audience. So when they go to the studio, they produce, they work. They develop that project in knowing exactly who they are producing that music for. So I'm also in the process of developing my music and my fan base. You know, people who listen to my music, they don't go to nightclubs. I used to stress about why DJs don't play my music. And then I was like, wait a minute, but people who turn up to my shows don't even come to nightclubs. You understand? So I need to look for other avenues where I can get my music across. You know, it's things like iTunes, things like me, myself engaging with my fans, having a fundamental management team that is strong enough to. Musicians are not good business people, and that's where we make the mistake.
Yeah, but is in this where things like management come in?
Obviously, this is why I'm bringing out this. Then you find people who want to implement things they don't understand, because they watch the documentary of Neo having a manager and all this, and they say, oh, I also have a manager and talk to my manager. Not that kind of attitude. But then again, the manager is not like really a manager. He's like a booking agent or a personal assistant. Because if you're not giving your manager a chance to do his job, you're the one who dictates what's happening. So Ronnie calls you, yo, MC Moseh, we want you on the show. And then you say, oh, no, okay, bruv, I'm going to send you my manager's number. Talk to my manager. And then you call your manager and say, yeah, this guy called Ronnie is going to call you and tell him this is how much we want and want da. You know what I'm saying? So the manager, he's a personal assistant. He's just a guy you use to pass on the message. So you're the guy who is making mistakes. So let's say someone books you from Nigeria and another one calls you from Ghana, and then you take the money of the two people. You understand? So I'm not even going to go there, because we are talking on a different level of marketing where you're still developing yourself. The problem we have with the YouTube stuff, you said that you have views like 1,000 views, 100,000 views. Yes, you could have that, but this is what people do nowadays. People use YouTube not to watch music. People use YouTube to listen to music. And then you have these other people like YouTube. How do you call people who use YouTube accounts to make money? Then you have those type of people who have YouTube accounts. So they put anything on YouTube because they've got this advertisement deal. You get the more hits you get, the more money you make. So what these people do, they make a list of songs, a playlist. So Ronnie's bored at home. He doesn't have time to go sort out the CDs. People don't buy CDs anyway. Or he doesn't have money to waste on iTunes when YouTube is there. So what he does, he goes to YouTube, makes a playlist of every favorite song he wants. Then he puts it in countries, especially European countries where Wi-Fi is as good as it can be. Then they will be playing that music every day. And then you go to your song, you see, oh my God, I have like 200,000 hits. But in actual sense, people are not even paying attention. These people who are listening or watching your music, they don't even know what's happening. So for me, the best thing is to sell your brand with your music. This is what I've learned. That's why MC Moseh Mama's boy, I miss you. MC Mama's boy, Diana Lunji. I will give you an example. There's a song we loved here in London, Messi. I swear to you, if you put that guy on a flyer and or a poster in UK, people won't even know this guy. Yeah. Do you know how sad it is?
Welcome back to Power Chat TV. Again, I'm talking to Mama's boy. One thing that we are discussing here is the community here within the Ugandan community here in London. How do you find this Ugandan community in London? Do you find that people are together, people are separate, people are cooperated, or is every man, woman for themselves? As long as I get what I need, I couldn't care less about you.
For the years I've spent in London, I came here when I was 20. I'm 31, 30. I'm going to be 32. Trust me, Ugandan community has changed a lot. It's one of the most vibrant communities in UK after Nigeria. Because after Nigeria, Ugandan community is the most supportive community of its own people. Don't let social media lie to you. Every community have their issues, and a few people, if they decide to take the issues to social media, because everyone is on social media, everything you say, especially negative stuff, they just like that. If you say anything silly, 1,000 people will know about it. If you say something sensible, nice, people won't care. It's the generation we live in today. So, but to be honest with you, Ugandan community is the most successful community, and it has changed a lot. Our generation has changed a lot, and our parents are being very, very supportive. The youngsters are really inspired, because before, Ugandan kids never wanted to be called Ugandans. They would rather call themselves Jamaican or Caribbean. But today, a Ugandan child will be, I'm Ugandan, because there's something happening. There's something coming. Next time when we meet, I'll talk about this, in a proper way. This goes back to Ugandan government. There's a lot of potential in the Ugandan diaspora. There's a lot of skilled people. Uganda needs a lot of work, my friend. And when you look at how things work here and how these youngsters have been trained here, just one person can make a change of a million, can change a million people mentality. And because in Uganda the problem we have is the mentality. That's the only problem we have. We have everything in Uganda, but the problem we have is the lost kind of mentality, the way.
Yes, and see what you're saying. Do you know that Uganda's got one of the youngest population in Africa, under 40 years old, who something like 70% of Ugandans are under 40, which is is quite astonishing. So that sort of middle age, say from about 50 to about 60. And non-existent. It's just there's a big void there, and then so this generation now that's growing up, who have known mainly one president, who have known the same ministers. I mean, is anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned for part 2. You get this part 2 soon, and stay tuned. Part 2 coming up with Mama's boy. Stay tuned. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you so much. Hello, all viewers of Power Chat TV. This is your boy MC Moseh. I'm coming back in part 2. Thank you so much. Keep watching Power Chat TV.